Alright, so here is red. This is a forensics picoCTF 2025 challenge. So we're provided with a red.png. And when you download it, right, it's just a PNG, it's a red square, nothing too interesting here. We're going to be using a tool called CyberChef. So let's go there. So it's a PNG, right? So, but let's actually make sure that it's a PNG. If we move it in here, yeah, it's got the magic bytes in here, the IHDR signature. So yeah, pretty certain it's a PNG and it's not masquerading as something else, or we need to do any like substitution with the headers here. Here's a poem. It says, Crimson heart, vibrant and bold, hearts flutter at your side, blah blah blah. Not really too interesting. I think this is just kind of a red herring. I mean, it's a cool poem, but like, you know, doesn't help us. So anyways, we've got some data here. This actually took me a while to figure out. I know it's labeled as easy, but I would go and label this as medium, because you kind of have to think outside the box a little bit. Unless you're extremely familiar with forensics, you know, then I don't know. But whatever. I think we can scan for embedded files, right? So we get a PNG and we get some zlib. That's not really, just to be sure, we can try to extract these files if we get miscellaneous as well. Right, so no embedded files in there, so we can check that off the list. It's not a JPEG, so there's no EXIF data. You know, we don't need to bother with checking for strings. I mean, it's all right here. It's a very small image. We can extract the least significant bit, and this is going to be pretty interesting. Actually, let's check the bit plane first, right? This is something that sometimes this is in CTFs. We can check for red, green. That's pretty standard. If the flag contained this, then it would be pretty obvious. But it doesn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to extract the least significant bit. And if we look at the hint here, it says red, ged, bed, ed, right? And if we take the first letter, it says RGBA. So I think what we want to do is extract the least significant bit in this pattern. And this is frozen, so I'm going to reload this. Okay, we're going to do RGBA. And we're provided with some plain text. And this looks like base 64, just based off the two equals signs and the general way that it looks. I've seen a lot of base 64, and this strikes me as that. So let's Control A and Control C that. Let's paste that here, and let's do from. Actually, let's make sure that it's base 64, right? It's going to say from base 64, from base 85. I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's base 64. So from base 64. And we have our flag repeated 7 bajillion times. So there you go. We've got the flag. A little bit of a pretty cool... Oh, wait. I copied it twice? Whoops, that is not what I meant to do. There we go. Submit flag. Yeah. So a little bit of a challenge there. Honestly, would not have labeled that as easy. Again, I say. So yeah, there you go.